everybody. It is Liddy Paul and Joel Simmons back for another coffee with Liddy and Joel.
Yes.
Right? We're so excited about being here with you today, and we have a great show coming up with the fifth of the foundational rules that we want to share with you. And this one is check back. I know that you had to enjoy our last episode where it was all about do the task immediately. So, without further ado, we want to go ahead and dive on into this. But first, please remember, go and check out Liddy at All About Family with Liddy Paul on YouTube, and then stop by on Tenacity Foundation and check us out there. Remember to like and subscribe both of these channels so you can see all the good things that we have going on. Hit that notification bell so that you know when we're coming on, and we will see you in. It's kind of like seeing you in the movies or in the TV show. We'll see you in the YouTube show. All right. Liddy, what is going on?
I'm good. Thank you so much. I'm good. It's always a pleasure to sit down and to have, that time coffee with Joel and Lizzie. So thank you so much for our viewers to be faithful and to watch those conversations, because it's not only for Joel and I, but it's also for you. We want you to be part of the conversation. So please comment, let us know, and I'm sure that very soon we might even do a live so you can interact with us. But until then, comment and let us know how it's been so far for you. So today, as you say, Joel, we're going to talk about check back, and is the last step when you want to teach your child to follow instruction. So this is from teaching self-governance, and it's very important. When we talk about role, and we say that the first 7 years you need to be a parent. So when you are a parent, you need to make sure that you teach your child self-governance. And then the last step is to check back. What does it mean to check back? To check back means that when your child is done with doing the thing that you ask him to do, to come back to you, to have your child not saying, okay, I did it, okay, now I can move on with my life, but saying, oh no, I did it, let me report to my parents, let me report, it's, and as I'm telling you, that's why I love it. It's foundational. When you do a job, when you're at work and you do a job, you have to report. You have to say, okay, you asked me to do to post, the reel. I did it. Now what is, what is it? What is the report? Did you like it? Did you like it? It was easy, it was hard. Did you have any feedback when you were doing it? What is it? You see, that's why you need to check back. You have to check back so your mom, the parents, can praise you because you did the task immediately. So it's something that it's important. When you do something, let people acknowledge you. And I think that sometimes we just want to do it, discreetly, like, okay. And then we don't want to receive praises. But we need to handle both. Because when you check back, you need to be able to handle the positive and the negative. I don't like really to say negative, because then people are so afraid to make decision, because they think that they will make the wrong one. So they don't want to take decision. I always say that to my children. Take a decision. If you don't like it, I rather say that. If you don't like it, you can always take another decision. You're not stuck into one decision. Don't say it like as negative, like, oh, I make the wrong choice, so I'm stuck with that all my life. No, you're not. You're not. If you make if you did something, for example, you clean up the bathroom or you clean up the dishes and it was not well done. So now, if you have that comment that you don't like, you can either work on it and say, okay, I'm going to redo it and it's going to be better, or you can disagree appropriately. You can explain that, oh, but I don't have enough soap, I don't have that. So now we can understand why the report is that way. And that's why it's so important to teach that as a younger age. So now children will not take it personally. Sometimes as soon as you say something that the time or the person might not like, it's like the end of the world. You don't appreciate what I'm doing, you don't like this. No, it's not that. It's just to allow you to check back so you can improve.
I love it. I love it. It's funny that you said that last part, the end of the world, because that was exactly where I was going to chime in on. So I love this whole idea of checking back because it also is a time where a child or youth can learn responsibility, you know, and that's what we want to teach them. We want to teach our children responsibility. It also gives them a feeling of completion, and
Yes.
sometimes when we don't have that feeling of completion and we create a habit out of that, then we don't need completion.
Mm,
And when we don't need completion, we don't seek completion. So
mm,
we'll become an individual that has a habit of starting something and not finishing it.
yeah.
So these are
Mhm.
very important foundational rules, right? I don't even think about those things, but when we start laying it out, when you were laying this out, Lydia, it's like that's exactly what we're doing. It's like these are the moving pieces behind the upfront lesson.
Yeah.
It's the shift in the mindset of young people that creates an adult that desires to complete what they've started. And this could make the difference in going to a job and not understanding it and then giving up, not wanting to learn the job. And so you find people that job hop, not
Yeah.
because they found a better job, but just because they gave up. So completing that task is good. And that second part, Liddy, that you mentioned with the criticism, the
Yes.
critique,
Mm.
that is powerful. It's like, wow. When you open that up, it's like, okay, so we are teaching our youth the difference between positive,
Mm.
neutral, and
Mm.
negative criticism.
Mm.
This is impactful, right? Because we want all of our young people, just like I want, to be able to receive the good out of whatever somebody says. I need to know if it's negative and if it's coming from a negative place, so that I know that maybe I don't need to associate in this environment around these type of people because they're out for my downfall. Or if they just don't know how to speak well and this is the best that they can do, or if it's just neutral, they just giving me something, or if it's positive. But the most important part about that was that you stated whether it's positive or negative, you don't even like to use that. If critique can benefit an individual, they should use it, irregardless of the way that it is formatted. And for us to be able to gain an ear and a mind to be able to do that, I think that that is very, very, very important. That's a lesson to learn.
Yes, and you know when you were talking about people jumping from job to job, it also allowed you to follow up. When you do something, many. I was reading a book about sale, and they say that most of salesperson don't follow up. They don't check back. Like, okay, you asked me to call you a week after. Okay, 1 week after. Okay, I'm checking back. So how you doing? Are you ready? We don't necessarily check. We don't necessarily check. With our family. We don't check with our colleague, with our friends. It's a part. It's a skill that is there, but we don't utilize it to enhance a relationship or to enhance skills. It's just there. And when someone check back with like, this is suspicious, why are you so noisy? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Just making sure that everything is good. And if I can give you advices, as you said, you don't have to take everything. You can, have different basket, and it's okay. This one I take, this one I don't take. And everything that he said is for me to improve. So when you teach that to your child at an early age, the child understand. As a pre-K teacher, I have to say to the children that letter is not an A. It's not. It is not. So now I teach. Sometimes they are so frustrated, and I say, no, you have to understand that is the first time that you're doing it. You don't have fine motor. So now we're
Mm,
going to work on that. We're going to play Play-Doh, scissors, the puncher, hole puncher. We have now all the resources to help you so you can know how to do it properly. So now they're like, now they become excited and they're not they don't feel set back by that critique, but they say, oh, okay, I can do it, I can make it better. And this is what you want to teach to your child at a young age
Mm.
about, when you do something, you check so you can have the praises. And if there is no praises, take it as something that you need to improve. And as we said, immediately that you know that, get the help. Don't stay stuck. And unfortunately, many times, as soon as someone says something negative, it's just the end of the world. But we should not, and we need to teach that to our child as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. I agree with you. It is absolutely necessary. So this type of critique inside of the house, being able to help our young people, helping our children when they come back and they check back, it is absolutely our time. I call it giving a sandwich. And that's basically when you give good critique,
Yes.
and then after that, you follow some type of critique that can help them to develop,
Yes.
and then you follow it up with more good critique or praise. So
Yes.
it's praise, then encouragement to do something that it can tweak and make it better, and then praise again. And that way, whatever that piece is that they need to improve on, is stuck in between two good things or five good things. And so the only thing that they can feel is they started smiling when you opened your mouth and started speaking with them. Then they may have stopped smiling as they heard something they needed to work on. And then they start smiling again because you gave them more praise and you left them with praise. When they walk away, they're floating, they're happy. And then they say, oh, you know what? Mom said if I do it this way, it'll be even better. I wonder what'll happen if I go and I do it this way. I bet you she'll be even more happy. I bet you dad will be even more happy. I bet you when I go back and I check back the next time, they're going to be ecstatic with me. I can't wait to get this. And that's what we want to leave our children with, the feeling like they cannot wait to report to us. That establishes a relationship that will last a lifetime.
Yes, and by that, what also it's important to teach our child that last statement or that last question. So teach your child when he just report the thing, and then you give him the critique, good or the one to improve. Train your child to say to you, do you need anything else?
Ooh.
Do you need anything else? That means what? That means that you're not defined by just that. It's not because this one was not well done that I cannot be of service. I can always help. And also, you can teach your child at the same time that you are useful. You did that and it was great. And I know that you can help me do even more things. Oh, you did that. And I tell you that you need to improve it, but I know that you can do even more things. So now the child know that when I do something, I am always utilized. I can always help. I can always serve. I'm not defined by one thing. Even though I messed this up, I can always do something else. So now, as parent, you can say, "Oh yes." Now, for example, as you said, you can bring, the thing that you know that your child will nail it, and say, "Oh, do you remember that drawing that you made? Can I have another one?" So now the child can say, "Oh, this one I'm really good at it." So they know that all the others, it's work in progress. They're not defined by one thing that they need help. And when I learned that, I say, yeah, this is so important. So people don't think that they are defined by one thing. If you ask me to put a light bulb, I cannot. So if you just ask me that, I can feel that I am less than. But now, if you say, okay, Liji, can you babysit and help me with my children? I'm like, oh, yes, I can do it. You see?
I love it. Liddy, you are a genius. I just absolutely love it. It's the same philosophy that Albert Einstein used to talk about when you ask a fish to climb a tree. He
Yes,
goes his entire life thinking that he's stupid or useless because fish aren't meant to climb trees.
correct.
So getting greater use out of ourselves makes a huge difference. And it opens up the avenue of creativity for a young person to find what they are really passionate about, really purposeful about, and becoming the greatest individual that they possibly can be. You're absolutely a genius, Liddy. I love it.
Yes, and that's why we want you to acknowledge that. Do you help your child to check back? That means that do you let your child eat the sandwich? Do you start with praise and then you say what the child needs to improve, and then finish up by something that your child loves and will do perfectly. So now you know that your child will always want to check back to you, because it's not about nagging and about saying, this is not good, this is not that and that. But the child will know that everything that you say is to improve his or her skills. It's very important. So if it's your case, please comment sandwich. We want to know, do you know how to prepare that sandwich? If you need help, Joel is here. We can teach you exactly how to eat it, how to prepare it. It needs to be good. A sponge that is not well done, everything it's falling apart. It's not good. But then when you know how to prepare the sandwich, it make a difference. I'm telling you, you cannot put the tomato wherever you want. So that's why comment sandwich and we'll be able to help you. Joel is here. I am here. Follow us and you're going to see that your family relationship will change, and also your life, because everything that we're saying right now are foundational. And then once you have that, I can tell you that your life will go to success, into success. Thank you, Joel, for being part of the show. Thank you so much for your light and for sharing your expertise. You are wise, and I'm really grateful to know you and to hear all your advices. Thank you again.
Oh, Liddy, I am so grateful to have you as well. This has been something that we have been wanting to do for months on end, for almost a year on end. And I am delighted to be on this show with you. You also are extremely wise and you definitely know your way around children. So thank you.
Thank you, and see you next week. And we're going to talk more about the steps that Joel shared with us a couple of weeks ago. So stay tuned, because you don't want to miss it. Now, what you just heard was the foundational, and now we're going to go to the next step. So stay tuned and see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.